All right. Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shalonda, and I'm back. Excuse me. Okay. So I don't know. Looks like I don't know. My daughter must have had food poisoning. Because we don't really get sick around here, and everybody done already had the nothing around here. So I don't know. I told her she need to slow down on the Uber Eats. Sorry, it feels like hair is going across my nose. All right. So again, partly my fault again. So taking some time out to, you know, try to get the food situation in order around here. Because I've been really busy lately, and she just like to do her own thing. So, um, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of a little upset with Apple when it comes to. Hold on. Let's see. With the quality when it comes to this camera. That didn't do nothing. But anyways, so yeah, we want to talk about the debt ceiling. So I found this article very interesting, and I picked up a couple things here. I know you guys can't see. Yeah, you guys can't see me and the screen at the same time. But again, this is on the Washington Post. I guess this is the Capitol building here. There's a caution little cone in front of it. So it kind of just was like, okay, you know. Right? So let's see. It says, could the United States soon face financial calamity by defaulting on its loans? Now, notice this is the United States. This is the corporation portion of the land. I mean, and it's not for division or anything. It's just to point out the fact that that's just what the U.S. is. There's a difference between America and the United States. That's the corporation that's functioning here. So it makes me even look, and I'm wishing that, I couldn't stand social studies, I'm not gonna lie. So it's funny, or history, really, I couldn't, because I couldn't remember the dates and stuff like that. I remember my teacher's name was Mr. Holtz, and he got on my damn nerves. He really did. And I think that's probably why I didn't like it. That's the year I remember. And then what was that test that we used to have to take? Was it the Constitution? What was that test, y'all, that we had to take in the 8th grade? I can't remember. But yeah. So, all right. So again, but that's just keeping that in mind, right? Because we're trying to just figure out what's going on here. So it made me look at the branches, the judicial, which again makes me think of Judah for some reason, and all the different branches and stuff like that. So I kind of just was taking like a crash course on just looking into these things, and we're just gonna talk about a little bit of it today. Because I don't know, when it comes to the spiritual sense of this, I feel like this whole federal thing, when it comes to anything fed or federal, I feel like for some reason that energy that's possibly going to be supported by this is an energy that works for the U.S., but the U.S. works for many other nations, it seems. So, and they have the best interests of the allies. No, now nobody should. This is layman's term because I'm not into any of this stuff. I'm just looking at it with my spiritual eye. Okay. So, it would seem like as long as you're taking care of home, I mean, just being a mother, an at-home mom for the past 20 something years, right? It would seem like if you take care of home first, like if I wanted to go out and party or hang out or something when I was younger and I had my babies, I had to make sure that they was going to be with their dad, or I made sure, I didn't want to just have my children at anybody's house just for me to go do something, or, I had to put the children to bed first before I left or whatever, just to make it a little bit easier on him. It's just certain things like that. I didn't let a lot of people into my household and my home because I was a private person, or still am, but I think that it's against my will at this point. I don't know if it's going to be detrimental or beneficial. I just keep everything 100% real and just true on here. Okay. If I'm bringing you something, I'm bringing it to you in truth. I'm not trying to hide anything or do anything like this. If I don't bring it to you, then it's my damn business and it belong where it belong and not nobody else's, Okay. So it says, it's at least a possibility as a deadline to raise the debt limit comes up next month. Now, this is my whole thing. Like, if this has something to do with someone that is supposed to be, let's say that there's an entity here that is supposed to be of a ruling class, that's supposed to be in a certain position of power or making decisions, or supposed to be at tables, or supposed to be, considered when these things are happening. People are talking at them, no one is talking to them. And let's just say that, again, there's some finances or something involved. And this don't have nothing to do with it, or it could, however you want to look at it, right? So let's just say that, it just kind of seemed like funds that could be used for something else. I guess that would just be, that's just a general statement, right? Are going to be given to people that may not have America in its best interests. It may have the people that always want something from America or Americans at their best interests. It makes me think about this energy when it comes to the Taliban energy, because I look at looking at this from many different angles. The Taliban, again, is starting to remind me of groups within lower class or caste communities that are being formed right now. They may have daddy. Now, what I'm saying is as a father, okay, because to think that people, okay, we need to be mentally. See, when I talk about slavery or servitude, that's mental, because people don't even know that they service in the enemy sometimes when they go against people that are true and trying to bring them the truth. They get upset because no one wants to sugarcoat it and everything and hand it to them like that. They're saying you're going to have to do something about it too to meet someone halfway. We can't just keep looking at certain situations and looking at other entities and saying, hey, fix this, right? Sometimes it just starts with, again, that energy or something, that frequency that's going to come from the people to then demand, and then those people have to meet you halfway, right? So again, like I said, it feels like for me, knowing that, again, some of these energies that are should be in the same or lower class or caste than others, are getting funding, and they're getting help, and they're being elevated. They're being put and I look at this as idols, because they may look like us, they may sound like us, but what is your true agenda? Who do you really work for? And that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. Who do you really work for? So again, a lot of these entities, just their energy gives me that whole, as long as I'm good and I got this, it don't even matter. And then you have a lot of energy with feminine energy around here too. Feminine energy is on something right now. And, if you can get a bunch of them together to maybe not like, one, then, that's a detrimental. I just think it's very detrimental. Okay. And if they can form their own groups behind the scenes where they can attack, or they can do all these things to people, or have one-sided conversations without people being able to fight back or speak their part. It just, I don't know. Because I'm look at this at a larger scale. I try to go from all the way to this end to that end, looking at these situations, compared to the spiritual, historical, and what's going on right now, and biblical. Okay. So again, and when talking about this debt ceiling, it seems like just in general, like I said, that it's going to be benefiting those who may seem to have America as the people. I'm just saying people, all people that, like I said, stem from the people that were here prior to the establishment. Bloodlines that carry on until now, no matter what race or whatever, right? That are slowly always being pushed to the side, while others come in and take certain positions of power. It's just a thing. It seems as though that is the case. But we never do background checks really on these people unless they're in the forefront of things. It's just when I see agendas and patterns, I can't help but take notice. Here's a look at what the debt ceiling is and why we're talking about it. Okay, so they have this crafty little chart here. It is a restriction that Congress, okay, puts on the federal government. Okay, it's a restriction that they put on the federal government that relates to how much money it can borrow to pay its bills. So my thing is, I guess my next question, this is just, we just doing this in real time. My next question would be, okay. So it's a kind of like some reins or a restriction or something that's restricted that Congress, okay, which is very prominent, okay, in the workings of the construct, put on those at a federal level, governments. Who are the heads of these federal governments now? What type of things are being moved around right now in this time? Because it seems as though a lot of things that's going on with the Taliban and these groups are being okayed by this administration. It's being catered to a certain, I'm just saying what it seems, right? So again, how they were saying that people were getting bodyguards for $90,000 a year and stuff like this, and all these different things. While again, some Americans that are of a certain status, right? Okay, and have certain rights, right, are being targeted. But these groups that, before I knew about any of this, that I was pointing out to you guys as if we should be questioning some of the things that's going on. No. I wonder if they are being surveilled the way that I am, and why. Who can look at any of my information thoroughly and really tell me that this is something that should be, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be someone for people to feel like they have to do things at this level when it comes to you. So again, like I told you, these forces know exactly who we are. Some of us have already been programmed to, right? Some of them anyway. And some of us are the ones that it's hard to do that because we are a different stock or breed. When the U.S. starts to run out of money, Congress votes to lift the debt ceiling, which allows the country. Okay, so now we're using the term country. So that brings it to what I feel America is the country. In this sense, dealing with the organic nature of things when it comes to this planet and communicate, just having that connection to the earth. To borrow more money. But I'm thinking, who is the country going into debt? Could the country go into debt because of what the federal, I don't know. That's strange. Let's keep reading. There's a law that says that every time the Treasury Department runs up against the debt ceiling, it must come to Congress and ask them to raise it. So when the Treasury runs up, let's just pick a couple keywords out of the etymology of Treasury. Room for treasure. Department of the state that controls public revenue. So those of the public. So this is what I mean about the energy. Like, for some reason, it just makes me think that, again, something that has to do with energy, frequency, currency, money, whatever it is. And since we're talking about treasury, it makes me think about trust. Like, what is it really? What is it that a true American should be inheriting after those 400 years in 2018? And why are so many of us disappearing? And who are these people that came into the community and led us to do certain things and sign up for different things? And Are some of those people missing? Because I deal with like visions and dreams and energy like that. And it just seems like something is amiss here. Relocation, things like this. I don't know. This is what I'm just seeing here. Was Madam Huss. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I guess that is the department that of the state that controls the public revenue. Well, I knew it had something to do with money, but I just really didn't look at it that way. Now, what if this was an instance where it was somebody that was supposed to be, again, aware of these particular things done in their name or in the name of their family or something like that? And, you know, I just think of this I'm trying to think of this at a different level. Now, everybody is not going to get what I'm trying to say because everybody looks at it at that level. When I say that the real energy comes from, because I'm just saying that there are certain inheritances, there are certain things that I feel biblically, historically, that are tied to certain individuals that were original to this land, that were lied to and said that they were from Africa, and we find out they were not, that they were actually American Indians, or again, original people of the Americas. So this whole thing maybe have been told in reverse. So the real Slavic and Slavnik people that came over here were possibly even more of a lighter hue, but we'll never talk about so-called white slavery. Never. So again, storehouses, making me think of Noah energy in the ark. This is this is thesaurus, and this is one of the related terms, and my eye just came here. So again, we see what it is, right? Okay. All right, room for treasure. Stock. So it's making me think about the stock market. And so again, what's that whole thing about the stock market? What is being traded on the stock market? There are certain of us that are of a certain stock. When you think chattel and cattle, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Oh, the miseducation. And the thing is, we're so stubborn that we seen something one way. We were trained to, we have a trained eye to see things a certain way that we're not really looking at it from a full scale. It must come to Congress to ask them to raise it. The federal government spends more than it takes in. So again, okay, so seems a little bit like that, right? Okay. So again, the federal government spends more than it takes in. So again, they get the money and then they overspend even, okay? Is what it sounds like. I don't know. Somebody can fill me in. More than it takes in. So the government, which is the corporation, has to borrow money to cover the shortfall. Now, does this have to do with, again, the reason why we do have certain alliances with other nations all the time? You know, I was watching it was a documentary. It was so long ago, though. And the documentary was really long. And it was talking about, like, some things that happened after the war with Germany and some money that was given. And, you know, it was confused me more than anything. But it opened up my eyes to be able to see things a different way. So what is really holding this nation up? Is this why everybody feels like that we should turn this into a melting pot? Now, I have no riffs about people coming into the land the right way, you know, as opposed to now, because there's so much going on in the world. We have to go back and think, though, at some point in time, there were not borders. Someone came and put borders there. There was probably territories. People probably had territories, but again, there were no borders at one point in time in this story. So again, and if they're borrowing this money, then who? So this is what I'm saying. So then they borrow money from who? Then this is what I'm saying. Is this the connections that happen when we're talking economics and these things, where we have to bring so many different people in, so many people, you know, how like with the presidency is almost like Or just like any kind of, what do you call it? Any kind of thing where someone is having a campaign or something and people are putting something in. Sometimes some of these people want something back. So we just try to put things in it so just us regular folk can kind of understand what might be going on. And that means it hits its present limit fairly often. The debt ceiling is a human-made problem. Lawmakers instituted it in lie makers. Because it's not really, and I had to think about this just in another way. Because you hear people, they're not really lying about things, but they're not explaining it to you properly, or they're not giving you all the necessary information that you need. And then again, our minds, like I said, we have been trained to think that even scholarly information leads to intelligence. And I see it a whole different way. I don't know. Constitutional power. Okay, so again, let's keep going. As a way to rein in federal agencies. So pulling in, right? The federal agencies, I feel a connection. Now we're scrying, or we're crystal. We're just looking into this with a different. There's lots of things going on in my mind right now. Sensing things. To rein in federal agencies that were basically ignoring Congress's constitutional power to designate how much money the government can spend. That's a lot there. So again, they were ignoring Congress, the power of Congress. So who really holds the power then, if that's the case? And why would Congress consider it if that's what they've done over time, or has it changed? Let's see. How much the government can spend. And why is this leading me back to the whole thing of famine and things like this? Let me think something about some hard times or something. I don't know. Said David Super, a law professor and budgetary analyst at Georgetown University. Since then, it has become a routine chore for Congress to raise it. Is this why people was just warning people to, because a lot of times we've been said on the channel, like, stock up or whatever. And then it's coming to this whole shutdown, possibly. And so, just make me think. I don't know, like there's a severing energy here, or a progressive energy that is not going to be good for America. In the past decade, it has become a political tool for lawmakers to extract concessions as they bring the nation up to the brink of default. So then we're using nation now, okay? Rather than raise the debt ceiling by a specific amount, lawmakers often vote to suspend the debt ceiling for a period of time to allow the Treasury Department to borrow. But I thought it was something about, like, there's really not no money in, is it the Treasury? That there's really nothing there, or there was some question about if there is anything there? to borrow what it needs. As a debt ceiling fight has become more politicized, they've suspended it for longer and longer periods of time. Okay? So again, let's just go. Let's see if we can find anything. Why are we talking about this now? Yellen says the government will run out of any ability to pay its bills sometime in October. So does this have something to do with the tax increase? Does this have something to do with the so-called rich paying up with the administration is saying right now? Sometime in October, and asking Congress to authorize borrowing more money ASAP. Otherwise, a bill will soon come due that the United States can't pay. And that could mean the country defaults on its loans for the first time ever. And does that then mean that then certain things are going to be up for grabs? The two parties are engaged in a game of chicken. Democrats say the debt limit increase must pass the regular way bills get passed, not by attaching it to the reconciliation bill. Now, who are they trying to reconcile with? Containing all their spending priorities that can pass with a simple majority vote in the Senate. To pass it on their own is a complicated process. Based on the Treasury Department's estimates of when it will run out of money, Democrats may not have the kind of time. So is this why they're persecuted? Is this why people was left behind the enemy's lines? Because again, who is supposed to really be calling shots, or at least in the circle? It just seems like some of this stuff is illegitimate, or once you start looking at the underbelly of it and realizing who you are, the problems are almost insurmountable. Okay, so again, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop, and we're just gonna look up these terms. Raising the debt ceiling pays for yesterday's bills. Specifically, spending authorized when Republicans were in power. Okay, so kind of like how we were talking about some of the things that are left over from one establishment to the next, but this is basically talking about like the financial aspect of it. The national debt grew exponentially during Trump, okay? Approaching World War II. Are we approaching 3? Levels at 128% gross domestic product. Now, domesticated, dome. This is about fulfilling the fiscal responsibilities that the U.S. has already occurred. So again, is this something that has to do with something that has been done or run up or something during this time where I feel like it just feels like there's an emptiness when it comes to, the establishment. It almost seems like this is a make-believe. Because you have to wonder. I don't have anything against the person personally. I'm just saying the way people felt about certain individuals getting into office, they thought it was kind of like a joke. I wasn't one, but I wasn't all in either. But I'm just saying, it made me think. It made me think, what is going on here? And then the whole way that the transpiring and the passing the baton over to this establishment, something just seemed not right. It just seemed like something is not right. It just seems like something is not legit right now. And the thing that is legit is being cast out because of ignorance. But without assistance or the proper assistance, they would never know how to approach the situation. But I guess that's why when it came to like royal courts and things like that long ago, that there was people appointed to make sure that the people knew what they needed to do next to get it done. But I guess people can pretend that that's what they were doing for 20 years and calling it a threat for this, you know what I'm saying? Or look at what this individual is saying to make it seem, or to assassinate the character, or to crucify in a sense. To cover their own asses for something that has been done at a catastrophic level to some individuals of royal lineage and of the lineage of the oldest bloodlines in the Americas. Children of God. And is that why it seems like this establishment in many ways are so eager to please those people that are attacking America? In possibly killing off certain bloodlines and families with legalities? And making sure they pull all the strings and get all these things situated and get asses out of the fire? And the elephants out of the room? The Democrats have tied the bill together, a spending bill to keep the government open and effectively raise the debt ceiling in hopes that the Republicans will back down on their threat to vote against the debt ceiling. Okay, let's just go into the terms here. Because sometimes it's just this that helps me really see. So we're going into etymology now. And then we're going to marinate on it, right? So again, raise, the verb in etymology. Cause a rising of, lift up, right. So again, it's making me think about upright people standing, making me think of standing here. Build, making me think of altars or walls. Construct, bring into being. To rear. Child rearing. Whose children were those? Whose children are we? Whose children are those that have been left behind those lines? How important are they? So there is a difference. We can't sit there and say there's not a hierarchy. We can't sit there and say that, for certain things, like, so it's really even was fascinating for me to even realize in school that we still had a queen anywhere in the world, right? So it's almost like that whole energy of like abandonment, like abortion and child abandonment, because I think Biden said something about being one of the oldest coal miners or the oldest miners. And he talked about how the influx of the immigrants and his families and stuff came in. So I sit here in the energy of the people that were here already. And some of Maritime. A child of God. So again, of the heavens and the earth. Make it higher. So again, like I said, it's almost like when we were going through this whole indigenous thing, I said, you know what? Watch it be like, okay, we know, y'all know who you are now. Okay, we give it back. But it's going to be depleted. Things are going to be catastrophic. So it's that problem, action, solution, or problem, whatever solution, right? Create the problem, right? And then be the ones to come back with the solution. So again, someone has their hand out, because this handout, I don't know, this is an energy. I was just reading something about a handout or something like that, right? To then put you more in under the reins of other nations and other, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. Or is it the federal energy that is the children or the stock of those individuals from different nations that are being idolized right now, while the true heirs are being compromised, neglected, while we work on bringing more people in when we can't even take care of the people, no matter what color they are. They're going to be coming in here with nothing except for the gifts that are given to them by the governing forces that they would never really openly and give to people in impoverished communities right now. You have to jump through hoops of fire to get these things. Or you're sitting there in lack of knowledge because no one teaches us how to get these things in those particular communities. But we will go over to different countries and bring other children of different. So it reminds me of what, who was it that said it? Was it Jefferson or Lincoln? Why increase the sons of Africa? That's what I'm saying. Why increase the sons of any other and daughters of any other? And even daughters make me think about dowry, right? Right? Missing children, people. Okay, so why are we increasing the sons of other nations in depleting the American Indians? Now, some of these people are claiming that they're Indians, so we don't understand. And again, in Genesis, we're talking about the earth meeting with the earth. We don't understand that those were other darker groups and other, in mixed groups too. Okay, mixed, but these were the more likely indigenous people from another place that was brought in to mix and mingle, and then, you see, to graft themselves into the people here for what? Certain status, land, money, resources, servants. And since we just say, oh yeah, that person should just look like us. So this is, you don't know the intentions, you don't know the background, you don't know the upbringing. And I'm not trying to cause division here. I'm just saying what it is. You come on now. If you need to know that you about to go to a party and you know some girls want to jump you or fight you. Okay. All right. So again, if you a street smart, okay, you're going to be like, me anyway, I need to know. When I go somewhere, I need to know where the exits. You see what I'm saying? We go to a party, we going to a club. I need to be close to the exit. You know how that used to be. I'm about to be on the wall probably most of the time to my favorite song. Come on. I'm the one that sit at the table when all the girls go to dance to make sure ain't nothing going on with the drinks. I'm the one making sure ain't no dude acting too crazy with nobody that been having their drinks. I'm just like that. I got my one drink, maybe two minimum. Because that's just that instinct. It's something, right? So, oh, such and such gonna be there? Oh, you want me to go there? You going there? Well, I mean, why I'm even dealing with you if such and such gonna be there? When you know that she wanna fight me or whatever, then I'm looking at you. Like, oh. So see, this is not, it's not a fearful thing. It's just, again, I've been shaped and molded to be looking at things a certain way. I'm thankful for everything that I've been through in my life to show me the way. Okay? So, hold on. Don't come over this way because I'm recording. I don't want you to get in the camera. I'm almost done. I got 10 minutes left. I'll be right there. Okay? So again, that's my whole thing. Like, so again, is there something that we need to know? What? Just whisper. Just whisper. Come on, I want to get this done before I go get dressed. Okay, look in the refrigerator and see if there's something in there. There might have been some stuff that just got brought in. Okay, we'll see. Let me just finish what I'm doing here. All right. So again, that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to look at this from a different aspect because I am getting, my senses and signals are telling me that something is amiss here. And even if somebody is not being 100% truthful, which again, we already know that that's the case most of the time. But how is this going to affect us? How worried should we be about the energy around all of this stuff that's going on? I just don't know. It just seems like everybody is walking around with something the wool pulled over their eyes. And again, at one point in time, I feel like I was the one that had the blindfold on. The energy was definitely there. There was a blockage there. A mental blockage. And it opened up more and more after the 31st. During the insurrection, spiritually, was when I went through a dark night of a dark time, some kind of something. I went back and looked at my posts on Instagram and things back then. And the things I was speaking, I'm just telling you, I'm not no damn fool. Okay? Of siege. So again, to make it higher, okay? Now, this is interesting here, as is that of restore to life, okay? So again, this makes me think about something of life and death as well, too, right? So again, we all know that when we're talking about this caste system that we're looking at, these are considered to be the dead people that are under the names misnomers. Like, I would consider, white is hard because I know that was used for different reasons back in antiquity. Black too, okay? But again, they're still misnomers. There's no country called black. And there's no country called African American. Yes, I'd say give me 10 minutes. Okay, give me 10 minutes. You keep throwing me off track. So again, this is where the dead, Sheol, the hell, would be. This is that something in between, that kind of space in between, right? And then here are the commoners, peasants, and servants, which again, these would be the outcast or the capstones, the ones that have been cut off at the beginning. Let's even go back to the one from Egypt. Everything starts with a basis of something, okay? And you can always go. You don't tell me about going back into history and reminiscing on things. This is how you need to know. If you don't know where the hell we came from, you're not gonna know where we're going. Right here. Farmers, workers, overseers, plantation owners, landlords, servants and slaves. At one point in time, these people were here. You were here. Ancient Egypt, Mississippian culture, and more. As these people trickled in, they were put in a position here. They were brought into families. They were adopted in and taken in and treated equally and fairly as the same as the lower caste people that would have been already in that society. Something happened where they got the upper hand. And you ended up down here. And when you did, hold on. This happened. So is this talking about raising this back up to here? Like Moses' energy, let my people go? But to make sure that we don't bring any of the ones that would have power or position are the true owners or the true heirs or the true stewards or the true energy, right? To make sure that they don't excel so that we can use our idols or those who have been formed by these other nations and placed in position, to put them in these positions and make sure the ones that are really going to do right by the people are not going to waver. They're not going to be bought off. They're not going to be influenced. They're not going to be rained on. They're not going to be subdued. They refuse to be replenished. Those need to be left behind enemy's lines and they need to be killed or culled. I'm just trying to figure out what we're talking about and why I'm here. You see? That's what I'm doing. I feel as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. Let's look at some of these images here. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God, he's a oh, look at that. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm like, hold on, what we doing? I need to know what this is before we proceed with this. Look. No compromise. Close the borders. This and that. Hold on. America first. Not back better. Because back better might mean that you bring in other motherfuckers in here from other places and putting them in the positions like you already been doing for the past, I don't know how long, ever. Okay? To ensure that other people, and you know what I'm saying about those people. There is a difference. Nobody can use go back to Africa anymore. Because there was only 250 or 1,000 or so-called Africans that were brought here during slavery anyway. And we don't even know what they look like because there was lighter skinned people in Northern Africa as well already that were coming into South America and things. The women were being traded, kept in harems and being brought over. Yeah, so they want to call this person a suicide bomber because he's saying no. He's a Tea Party Republican, refusing to raise the debt ceiling. Okay, hold on. I'll be cracking up at these little cartoon, these little illustrations. Hold on. Okay, this is the image that's on that report that we're reading. Because, sometimes in order to make things right, you might have to suffer a little bit. And America don't know nothing about suffering and really. So it would have to be something that would happen to make us unite as one and then just go ahead and do what we got to do so we can get where we need to go. Or you can do what we've been doing all this time, which is never been a good thing for the people here that are listed as so-called Black or African American. Because again, for some reason, the whole energy of being dead by law means that you don't really matter. No matter how much somebody wants to say it, your lives don't matter. And we're seeing that now with certain people being left behind these lines because it's going to benefit the rich that have been, not the rich, I won't say that, these energies that of certain stock and status to be having the upper hand for a long time. And God is speaking of that being over and the true sun coming in, right? with the iron rod, right? We just here to set the record straight. We just here to, that's all we here to do. That's all we here to do. And people make that seem like you don't want to compromise, or you know what I'm saying, you don't want to work with anybody, you're prejudiced, you're racist, no, I'm just saying, hold on real quick before we lose everything. Let's think about this here. Healing is going on, and I believe it is a time for healing and not war. But when it comes to the mothers of this land that bore and bred these children here on this soil, many from all different nations, actually, this is going spiritual. This is going talking about this history, biblically, spiritually, on all different fronts. There is no woman in the world that has been more degraded than the American so-called black woman, even by her own men sometimes. Now, it's a time for healing. That's what's going on here. But America want to take care of her heart. She want to take care of herself for a second, right? And if anybody really cared about that, they would respect that, right? She's tired of lifting up her dress for all these different nations. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's tired of turning a blind eye. She's not afraid no more. And this is why they want to go after some of these women that are coming in tune with themselves and using their gifts and their talents in order to teach themselves and their children and to come up out of this what we've been in for so damn long. And people got the nerves to try to target. It's been written and it's here. She refused to be standing there with that damn scales being unbalanced, with that blindfold over her damn eyes and her dress over her head. Taken and fucking taken. Own children, family, friends, foe. Restore to life. So not that build back better, usually that means you're going to bring some damn body else up in here and give it to them. What's better? To deal with people that are very needy, ain't got no damn sense. Not saying that they don't. The sense of the way things work here. I'm not saying that they're stupid, okay? What I'm saying is they don't have a sense of the way that things work in America because they come here and they talk down on the American so-called Negro as well and think that they should be further up, but they don't understand the makings of it because they get certain privileges when they get here and they already have their eyes on the soil the way that they do. Okay, so again, when they get here and they get these things, they don't understand why you're still in your situation, but you didn't get those same damn benefits. Of the voice from late 14th century of sieges, blockages, or blockades. Take up by aggregation or collection, a sense of established contact with someone. Raising. See, it's okay to raise as long as it's being formed and molded by men. We have to keep it contained and underneath. We have to keep it controlled. We have to keep the reins on her. And if that doesn't work, blackmail. and leaking information and tapping things will work. If that doesn't work, we will send in people. We'll love bomb her and send in energy in order to lead and distract while we are helping to raise these particular individuals up to do the job that she should actually is her God-given right to do, ordained, but we would rather have it over here because we can deal with these more. This person is probably going to be hard for us to control. We'll take this one. Actually, we'll take the shit from her. We'll make sure that we include all of these good traits and these things into these other individuals and prop them up, and we will just get rid of this one. Nobody can tell me how I'm feeling. You don't know what's going on in my mind. And if there wasn't for miscommunication, and if there was direct communication, real life communication, then maybe we wouldn't think like this. But nobody is going to sit there and allow for energy to be pulled out from them or things to be done in their name and not. How would I even realize that? See, this is something. This is something. We spend all this time, they didn't spend all this time and energy to do harm. And that's what I was saying. When it comes to the communities, the ghettos and stuff like that, it's about priority. These people know exactly all the studies and shit they do on people. And you trying to tell me that you can't see what you can do within them communities to help build them back better already? You talking about building a whole damn country and the whole world back better, and you can't even do it in your own communities, and you want to bring more people in? It don't even make no damn sense to me. Promote plant. Okay, so we're talking plants. We're talking scouts, spies. It's all in the biblical text. It's all there. 1530s meaning to bring them up over. Okay, right? Picking the fruit. Chopping off the trunks of the trees and leaving the roots under the ground. Do you get my drift? In reference to plants. They're planting their children in the garden and making you think that it's you. And again, if this is done, now this doesn't have to do with individuality. This has to do with an agenda that's being pushed, a narrative that's being promoted. Promote with care and growth or development. Same thing I've been already telling y'all. Foster, bring up. This is what's going on in America. The First Nation people, the first original people are being dashed to pieces. Spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally. But we want to go and bring in children from any other place. It does not make any sense. It does not. And I keep telling you about the raised damn minimum wage. If that was the case, I'm pretty sure some more people would take them jobs. Nah, we'll get somebody in here that'll take them. Because you're not grateful for them. You're not grateful. We came here with nothing. I don't care. None of y'all gonna like me. None of you gonna like me, and I don't give a damn. Where I know, when they came here to America, we had everything. And it was taken away. Got me think about that whole royalty in my DNA. What is you talking about? That's why some of us can't function. That's why we can't see then taking that damn $7 an hour. I'd rather do my own thing, and I'm proud to see that people are doing that. That's how you create generational wealth. So again, they're bringing them up. These other nations are rearing their children. I don't give a damn if I'm one of them or not. You see what I'm saying? Because again, we have to think about that. There's a lot of mixture of different breeds and everything going on now. There's no way, I don't give a damn what DNA test, what documents you have or nothing to really tell who you are. This is how you tell who we are when it comes to the children of God. Peculiar to the United States of America. Of America. So which one came first, America or the United States? And you think somebody about to tell me? And that's the thing, I cannot. To raise and grow, brought up. Again, this is what's going on. I don't care what you say. You know it is. It all ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but it do. Missing children, missing women. We don't even talk about these issues anymore. It was on the rise before the nothing. We don't talk about it no more. Groups of little girls coming up missing, especially, and it's a problem because most of them look like me. Because most of them are the children of the Americas, the children of God. All children are the children of God because, again, the old world ain't nothing but what it was, the old world, and everything stemmed from there. You've been told this story in reverse. Debt, anything owed or due from one person to another. When I heard that somebody was suing somebody for $100 million, I said, that just sounds like some foolish stuff. That sounds like somebody that know that somebody is supposed to be coming into, because who got that much money in the first place? Again, and nobody can be mad at me. Like I say, if there's helpers here on this plane, let me see. Because again, if that's the case, then I should be well aware and informed about what's going on here. I know nothing. I don't know how these people is dealing with certain individuals like me and others. In your damn sleep or something? While you are hypnotized or something? Because I don't, you see what I'm saying? I don't know how anybody's making any moves in my name. Many will come in my name saying, I am Christ, and will deceive many. Or they are Christ. Is that what's been happening? Certain other families and extended bloodlines that's connected or have been grafted in, or wearing the cloak of that family, or the breastplate, getting their hands on the goods. I just wonder what we're talking about. So is there a liability or obligation to pay or render something to another? A thing owed? To owe. Keep something away from someone. Huh? To have and to hold, huh? I added to hold. To give or receive. I mean, this sounds like some damn wedding vows. Well, again, voting is just taking a vow to God. That money saying, God we trust. Who and what are we talking about? That which spouses owes to each other. So again, that makes me think about a twin flame journey going one way. Or a conservatorship, or someone trying to claim that someone is mentally insane or something like that so that they can get their hands on this person's goods. Sexual intercourse, okay? So we know that has to do with, it doesn't always have to do with laying down in the bed with somebody and making a baby. These has to do with alliances is what I'm feeling like I'm seeing here, what just came to mind. And also, again, alliances. Basically, we could just round it up to just saying that's what the sexual immorality and intercourse, basically, if we're just going to put it in the most layman's term at all. All right, now let's just go ahead and do sealing. You know, this one's going to be long, but it's all right. Y'all might as well just finish this off. I'm like 15 minutes over. An act, okay. Let's see. Okay. Because there was something in here. Let's just go ahead. Um, an act of paneling a room. Sound like a padded room to me. A barrier, something, blinding, a blockade even, something. Okay. All right. Put, like, how was that about the second death? Where is it? Here, twice born groups. The second death won't be that bad. I'm just looking. That's all we doing. Put a cover, right? Ain't that just what I just said? Or a ceiling over. Is this what we're talking about with the whole Sharia law energy? With the whole masking? Is this what we're talking about with the whole thing that has to do with this iron dome or iron whatever? That's on my mind too. Is it to protect or not? Later, cover walls with the wainscoting panel. Okay, I like wainscoting. All right. To conceal, cover with paneling to hide. Now again, somebody can be hiding something for its protection. Right, but once you know that the protection has been breached, then you might want to do something or let them know. You might want to communicate to the person that you know that this is the case and this is what you're going to do. But you know what? It makes me think about the whole energy. Certain people can't see God. They can't come close to God. Is that why I feel so alone? Sometimes. But it feel good though. Okay, to cover, to seal, to, okay, heaven, sky, celestial. Okay. So we're dealing with celestial energy. Okay. Interior overhead surface of a room. Earlier meant to fall. Get explosively angry. Lose one's temper. We're just passionate over here. Glass ceiling in figurative sense, invisible barrier that prevents women from the fuck out of here. You got people going on with some kind of stuff like this. What is you talking about? We have the people going along with stuff like this, and you worry about me saying a cuss word on this channel? You better. Really? Okay. When these same people do the same thing behind closed doors, but nobody's surveilling them or exposing it to the public because they want to be at the top. It's you that they want to defile. It is the woman that is the wife of God energy or that wisdom or the Ruach, right? But somebody, which God, want to keep her from advancing. So that's why the moon keep coming up, because that's that energy that have to do with that. The moon with Inanna, the moon when it comes to the Carolinas. South Carolina, I think it is, with the palm tree and the thing that they said is not a moon, but it's a crescent, but it is, but it's not. In management. So this is why they defile the women. So this is when they want to project imagery on you as if you have been defiled or people are doing things against your will. This is why they would leave a woman abandoned in a place where people have certain technology to access the woman in other ways, maybe even astral or celestial. Is this why I sense these things, have these dreams and these visions? No. That's celestial. Is that the reason why some of us can sense and connect telepathically or can connect with other energy? Is this what we're talking about? Manifest? Is why they want to be in our energy like that and pull from it and disrupt it? Space in the ship below the lower deck. All right. Oh, but the ones that preside got secret bunkers and stuff around where they could be protected. They need to go, but they'll just leave you right on off. That is some funky, nasty. That is some ridiculous. I just can't even understand. I don't see. They own people. Who are the domestic terrorists? Who are the domestic This is the other card that we pulled here. Matter of fact, it's right here on the top. And I said, no, you don't need that today. This is about peace. The dragon slays them all. A wounded soldier. She going over there to that castle. Walking through the garden. Dragons flying. Nagas. Possibly. Reptilian energy, Dan. Almost, possibly. I always wonder why they treated Dan like that. Yeah. She look mad. Oh, she got her fist balled up. Look at her. She got her fist balled up. And she is going. Got the sword. Let's see. Slay them all. Let's see. The whole thing is, the funny thing is, it just, people could have just been working with each other, but they just, it's all about, that's how people it's just nobody, people are expendable. When the heart is involved, people don't always have the best intentions. They will pretend they're good for you, only for you to find out that they're toxic and even abusive. The time has come to face your dragons. You must slay them before they slay you. Of course, don't literally slay them, but make sure that they know you won't stand for their mistreatment. So the storm card, that's what we pulled out the other day. Was that the calm before the storm? That hurricane? What's next? We just seeing some things here. These is right on top. Says, what fire. Right? She just lighted a match to it to check it out and see. She need to look a little bit closer to what the hell going on. Stand up for yourself. What's next? We're just going to do one more. Thorns. Weave together the crown you deserve. Look at that. Yes, I'm coming. I promise. Mourning. Hold on a second. I'm coming. I promise. Mourning. The world awaits you. She waking up like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. I'm tired of this. This is what I'm talking about. This is what America need to do. Be your own first priority. We can do it. Yes, we can. In the Bob the Builder voice. You see that? One thing about you, America, is that you're more resilient than people think. What did you do? I don't know. I wouldn't eat it if it's something to eat. I'm almost done. I'm coming. Okay, seed covering a helmet, hide, conceal, secretly. Okay, Defense shelter covering. Okay. A pod. All right. You know, that made me think about that woman that, I don't know if she's frozen or something like that, but they have a mummy of this lady, and somebody just posted it the other day, and they were like taking some kind of something off of her face or something like that to use for some studies or something. Just kind of made me think about something. So yeah, and this is why us women of so-called color, especially in Americas, get deemed some kind of different, what's this word? When we express ourselves. Because they can't handle the truth. They can't handle you. They can't handle you. That's all I want to say. I hope that we figure something out here. And we can kind of see what's going on here. Because that's the only thing. I don't like to point the finger at nobody, really. I just like to get down to the bottom of it. So, I guess I'll see you guys soon. Let me go ahead and get dressed. I kind of went shopping. I went to the thrift store, so I really didn't. So I need to go get dressed and get myself up for the rest of the day. But again, I don't know. You just let me know down below what y'all think. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I will see you guys soon. Yeah. That's trippy. Really trippy.